'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba,
Gilberton.
Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine,
Gilberton.
Nalla, Darwin, Gingin, Lillaquen, Muckdilla, Wallumbilla, Bougainville, Cumberland,
Gilberton.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
As you can probably tell, we're off to Gilberton in Queensland. And Rob, please introduce our guest on the telephone.
Lynn French is at Gilberton, and the first question I ask when someone's in Queensland, it's such a big state, where the hell is Gilberton, Lynn?
Well, if you just said Gilberton, Queensland, a lot of people probably think that is a town down near Brisbane somewhere, we believe. But Gilberton Station in North Queensland, we in the middle of nowhere. We're 450 k's directly west of Townsville on the head of the Gilbert River.
Because when I spoke to you, I spoke to you on a podcast some time ago, but I spoke to you the other day to arrange this. I said, how's life in Ainslie, which is where your mail gets delivered to? And you said, oh, we're 120 k's from there.
A lot of people think our address is Gilberton Station, Ainslie, but yeah, we're a long way from there.
So you're not in the middle of nowhere, but if you stand on your tippy toes, you can see the middle of nowhere. Is that fair?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Lynn, I suppose you have experienced the good parts about being in a condensed environment where everything's close and handy and there's lots of people to socialise with. We talk a lot about Outback Australia. It's a great part of our history, but in a nutshell, why is Outback Australia a great place to live?
Well, for us, it's the freedom and the peace and the quiet, and it's just us, I guess. We live and breathe it every day, and wouldn't want to wish anything else. We go to the city, it's a pain in the butt, really. Too many people, and everyone's busy, and everyone's in a rush, and yeah.
The issue we just had a segment on before talking about rural health, and I suppose one of the concerns, you're so far away from important medical assistance if an emergency does arise. How are you set up as a family and a community to cover off on that?
So we, the Flying Doctor is our local doctor in Cairns, and if we have any medical issues, we just jump on the phone or the computer and chat with them. If there's a medical emergency, which we have had a few over the years, it's only a matter of phone call or on the radio with the doctor at an hour. So even though we are very remote, at times I think we can get medical service quicker than what some people in the city do.
Yeah, although there are people here get a little bit excited when they ring the ambulance and it's not here in 7 minutes. The Flying Doctor, even, the fact, take out the flying time, the fact that they've got to jump on a plane, take it down the runway, take off, it's not going to happen in minutes, is it? So I guess that's where folk like us would just shake our heads and wonder.
Yeah, well, I think the Flying Doctor's pretty good too. They have field days where we host a field day here a couple of times a year, and they're always doing training things. So we learn over the years as, if there's a bad accident, we're not medical trained, but you've got a bit of a brain to sort of know do in first aid sort of thing and keep it stable and whatnot. And we do have a big medical test that the Flying Doctor supplies. So if we have to do an injection or whatever, they tell us what number in the big box, and away we go.
Well, the good thing is you could also book in to have your heart attack in 3 months on the field day. That's the other option. Now, Lynn, what do people, well, specifically, what do you guys do on Gilberton Station?
So Gilberton Station is a historical family place. Family came here in 1869, and we've got 7 generations now on the place. So we breed beef cattle, breeders, and we've also got a 5-star luxury private retreat as well. And that sort of came about when we had through the bad years of drought and just wanting to diversify. So just to sort of share our piece of paradise with people and educate people about the paddock to the plate concept.
And I know you're not allowed to name names, and I'm not asking you to, but your resort is exclusive enough for some. You've had some celebrities come through. How do people find out about your facility? And what happens if they're there and they bump into someone important?
We have had some absolutely, well, all our guests have been absolutely gorgeous, and the majority of our marketing has been word of mouth. Gilberton Outback Retreat is the number one must-do, and it's only family here, so our guests are sort of pretty secure, and we guarantee their privacy, but they're just normal people like you and I,
Because Rob's often looking for someone to get away from. He is what we call here an invelebrity. That's someone from Inverleigh who's a celebrity, and Rob tries to get away from the milling crowds. You should see the crowd milling around the door of the studio as we speak.
Gilberton sounds like a really good place to be.
Yeah.
Hey, the other thing that intrigues me, Lynn, I always prepare to laugh or shake my head when asked this question, but I was one of 8 children raised on 365 acres, where you are. 365 acres would probably give you a couple of cows. How big a place are you looking after?
So Gilberton Station's probably one of the smallest in the area. We're 88,000 acres. 360, that's probably
Maybe a horse paddock, would it?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah. It's all relative though, isn't it? Because I look at 300 odd acres and I think, wow, I live on 600 square metres. And I suppose you feel embarrassed when you nick up to the Ainsley pub and they say, how much land have you got? Oh, just the 88,000.
Yeah, it's quite mind-boggling. So how many breeding cattle do you run on 88,000 acres, Lynn?
We've got about 3,000 breeders. We turn off our young ones to fatteners on the Atherton tablelands. And, it keeps us busy. Sometimes it's not enough land and sometimes it's too much. It's just,
So how important, you were saying off air that you've experienced rain, and I don't know whether it's normal to be raining in February in Queensland, perhaps it is, but how important are those rains that come through so rarely, I imagine, at occasions?
It's as long as you've got follow-up. Yeah, we've had some really good rain. We've had about 6 inches in the last 10 days. Popped all our dams up, just about all full, and it's certainly given the grass a good go for the start of the season. But November, December, we can be lucky to get storms. January is mostly dry for us, and it's normally February, March, April is our wettest month. We're flooded in at the moment. We say flooded in. For people in the city, it'd say flooded in, but we're not stressed. The car can't get in and out, and only get in by air. But it's wonderful. We're not complaining, that's for sure.
I've got this vision of you going, we're flooded in. We can only travel 88,000 acres.
Staffing to run that many stock up there, of course, you'd have to have a few. And do they all live on the station, or do they have to travel to get to work a bit?
No, we're just ourselves, just my husband and me and our son.
And the three of you look after 3,000 head of cattle on 88,000 acres.
Yeah, it's a bit like that, eh?
Yeah, and just throw in the occasional the bloke in the next studio works in that industry. He's just fallen off his chair. And you run a full-time resort as well. I don't know what do you do in your spare time?
Oh, I do a bit of charity work.
Stop it!
She's the president of the Gilberton Station CWA branch.
Also got a CEO of a charity called Bush, BUSHED, where we help rural and remote kids' education.
Wow.
In my spare time, I do that, or seeing grandkids, or go flying. Well, a bit like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, sounds like a fairly normal day for Rob.
Yeah. I'm staggered. I just commend you and somewhat jealous. And if I ever travel, I've got Gilberton Station, Gilberton. I can't even say it. You know, where you live. I'm coming to
Gilberton
visit.
Outback,
That's
yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Well, the billy's always on and the door's always open. That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
And you might have to fly in. That's the only problem just at the minute.
I could put up with that.
Lynn, it's been absolutely delightful to catch up with you again. Every time I chat to you, it's been 3 or 4 times now. I walk away going, wow. I just thought it was a really good story to have as our first off regional roundup for the year. So thanks for joining us.
No worries, you're welcome. It's a beautiful piece of paradise up here, and look forward to catching up again.
If people want to find out about the resort, where do they go on the web?
Gilberton Outback Retreat, www.gilbertonoutbackretreat.com.
Seems sensible.
To be able to host anyone who would like to come.
And if they tell you that they listen to you on the Two Blokes Chatting radio show, you'll give them a warm hug?
Sure.
Excellent. Sold. Thanks, Lynn.
You're welcome.
So, Lynn French up there in the middle of absolutely nowhere in a place called Gilberton Outback Station.